and she was just praising the Lord. The Lord told her to cut it off and pray. She did exactly what she heard the Lord say. She drove all the way over to Harding Place. When she got on Harding Place, a drunk driver hit her. She's 7 months pregnant, and knocked her off of Harding Place into the tree and destroyed into some trees and destroyed our Suburban. I get the call from Southern Hills Hospital. When I arrive at Southern Hills Hospital, she says, "Honey, last night the Lord gave me a dream. I was in the back of an ambulance." He said, "Before I drove out of the driveway today, he told me to cut my radio off and pray." Now, because her husband covers her, she is able to hear and discern. She could have been dead, and my 7th child could have been dead today. But she is covered by her husband. And our children are covered by their father. Every husband needs to cover his wife. He needs to cover his children. But he has to walk with God in communion and prayer and hear God to be able to do that. Now, as we grow in the Lord, he tells us to expand our tent peg. And that's why you saw that Hannah took Samuel to Eli, and Samuel grew up in the care of Eli. Eli didn't know how to hear the Lord. I mean, Samuel didn't know how to hear the Lord. The Lord called Samuel. And who told Samuel it was the Lord? It was Eli. He said, the next time the Lord called you, say, "Here I am." Well, see, he had a mentor, a father, to teach him the way of the Lord. So if you don't have a boy to learn the way of the Lord, if you don't have a father to teach the boy the way of the Lord, what's going to happen to that boy? He will learn the way of the devil. So he'll wind up down at juvenile. He'll wind up killing someone. He'll wind up in a gang. He'll wind up robbing a store, because there is no one who is teaching the boy the way to go. And that is why we started the Family Foundation Fund, to begin this process. We recruit surrogate fathers who are willing to step beyond their own family. They bring the boy into their family on weekends. He visits their home, stays over with them. He has an opportunity to learn how to fix a car or mow grass or wash windows, whatever the surrogate father is doing, that boy does. In the course of the years that he's in the program, you'll find that the surrogate father and that boy begin to bond. One of my surrogate sons had just left for the military. When he went to sign up, he asked me, he said, "I need to talk with you." We got together for lunch. We sat down and talked. And then he went to sign up 3 or 4 weeks after that. After he signed up, he called me and he says, "Mr. Odie, I've signed up today." He said, they're going to swear me in about 2 weeks. I said, "Okay, well, we want you over to the house for dinner." Now, this particular surrogate son, he's white. And it's obvious that I'm black. When I went to the swearing-in ceremony, he was back in the area where they swear them in. The officer comes out and he looks at me, he says, "You're the father?" And I said, "Yes, I am." Well, see, he's been with me since he was 9 years old. I'm the only father that he knows. So consequently, when he told the sergeant, "That's my father out there, by the way, he's African American." So, I mean, but what's happened to that boy, he's on track. He's not in prison. He's not getting girls pregnant out of wedlock. I'm not saying he's doing everything right, but he knows the Lord. He has confessed Christianity, and I'm praying that he will walk in the fullness of the things that we have imparted to him. He's on his way now, and I'm very blessed to know that he has been taught the way. And I told him, I said, "I'll be praying for you." And we will not forget you. We'll be praying for you. And if you run into a roadblock, you know who to call. He said, "Yes, sir." So, I mean, you begin to train them, and they begin to look to you as their father, the man who imparted destiny unto them.
And of course, Mr. Kirk, let me thank you over the last half minute that we have here for bringing us that excellent information about Family Foundation Fund. As a matter of fact, it's much more than simply Family Foundation Fund. I think it's sort of deceptive in terms of what we've been talking about, because essentially you're calling to task a large number of individuals who do have the ability to take on that responsibility that you're talking about. And I think that just to hear that stated over and over again, as we've stated that today, I think that that's encouraging, and hopefully some of our audience will be encouraged to become involved in what you're doing. And of course, let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.